It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
Shea blasting inside away from Nembhard. Shuttle feeds Dort. Right wing Dove. Wide open. Strokes a three. In there. Cha-ching. Thunder money ball. Jalen Williams 33 and counting. Thunder making shots. 98-93. 8 minutes to play. Shea recovers on him. He throws it away. Wallace has it in the open court. Down the lane for the dunk. Payson Wallace to strip and the slam. Thunder 100. The Pacers 93. Timeout Indiana. Up top to Nembhard. Pump fakes Dort. Drives left in the lane. Throws it away. Shea the steal. 12 on Holmgren. Driving left. Down the lane to the rim. Lays it up left hand and lays it home. And he's hacked in the act by Neesmith. Oh, the Thunder spurt back to go up 10. 107-97. A spectacular surge by Shea.
And the Thunder win 120-109. They lead the series 3-2. Jalen Williams, 40 points. Way too many turnovers for the Pacers. And Tyrese Halliburton, 4, 6, and 7. That's a shadow of his production. The calf injury bugging him. He tried to play through it, and he wasn't close to good enough, PK.
Nah, he was just out there. Obviously, He was limited. He was really having no effect on the game in the manner that we've seen him do several times this year. So I feel bad for him in the brightest moments and all. He's got that injury, but we've seen that before, and somehow he's got to shake it off. And you wonder if he can't, is he actually hurting the team because you can get somebody in there who's healthy because he wasn't giving you much because he couldn't give you much. And, it was a very interesting game because, you see the Pacers making that comeback. Then all of a sudden they started turning it over like they didn't even want the ball. I mean, it was just seemed like one possession after another, and it went right back up. And that was it. And the thing that I love is that the Thunder knew what was working. They had 94 FGAs, and less than a third were threes. They had 64 two-pointers. Right on. And they had about the same percentage. I'm not saying don't take the threes, but don't force the threes. If the threes are there, take them all the way. The right guys, of course. You don't want Hartenstein jacking them up, but he didn't. He wouldn't do that. And the shot selection was really good, and SGA, he is so smooth. And another thing that caught my eye is that after the game, the ladies doing the on-court thing with Jalen Williams, and she says, they made that comeback, and it got down to 2, and he looked at her sort of whimsically, and she said, "Yeah, you didn't know it got down to 2?" He said, "No." Don't worry about that. Yeah. Play the game. Don't let some exterior pressure. Oh, no, we've got this lead. It's slipping away. We're going to lose the series. We'll never get here again, and all the things that the mind can do.
Yeah, the mind can do all of that, and none of it. Just, hey. Yeah, need a stop right now, need a bucket right now, and then everything works out.
He acted like he had no idea, which allows you to play free, and that's cool, and they did. And they're the better team. We've been saying it all along.
Yeah, and that's his best playoff game ever. 40 points is a playoff career high for him. So he came up huge. I thought your point about the threes, it's we always talk about, hey, when the three isn't falling, find another way to score and all that. The three was falling.
Right.
They were really...
Right.
They just... It
was fine.
Yeah. I mean, they shot 44% from three,
fine. So
that was great. But they kept putting pressure on the rim. They kept getting to the free throw line, so... They never...
Take the three that's there. Don't, we have to shoot threes because some nerd said we got to shoot threes. If you're open, your feet are set, go ahead and take them. I've got no problem with that. But don't force it just because you're supposed to, as if it's some badge of honor on FGAs for threes. No. If it goes in, that's the badge of honor. And run your offense. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, don't force it. That's my whole gripe about the threes.
For Halliburton, if you can't score a single bucket in the game, I mean, I get the point that you're a leader, and to a certain degree, they're going to respect you if you're out there. So maybe even as a decoy, you have gravity. Is the cool word. You have gravity and open space for everybody else. But, I mean, if you can't make one bucket the entire game, thinking you shouldn't be in.
That's what I'm saying going forward.
Yeah.
You've already earned the respect. Okay, you're going to play through it. but there comes a point sometimes, not always, but sometimes you are impacting the team negatively because obviously they could put somebody else out there, maybe give McConnell more minutes. He's been outstanding this series. But they'll figure that out here. When's the next game? Is it tomorrow? Is it Friday?
It is
what
Thursday.
Tuesday?
It's tomorrow. It's Thursday, yes.
Yeah,
It's Thursday.
So you got a couple of days, and because there's a travel day involved, and let's see what you got.
4.7 rebounds, 6 assists, just not even close to good enough for him. So, Game 6 coming up Thursday. People are focusing on the draft. 6 more players received NBA draft green room invitations. The expectation is there'll be 5 more later this week. Bring the total amount of invitees to the draft to 24. Maybe 2 Jazz guys will be on that list. What will the Jazz do with 21?
Oh, 2 guys they take.
Right. 5 and 21. They're going to take 24 guys.
I would think so, yeah. Makes sense.
They may like somebody who's a little off the radar. I guess they're checking the teams, and teams are turning lists of 25 players. And
well, they'll be
guys.
done drafting in the first round at 5.
Because?
Well, the 2 picks that they're going to have in the top 5.
Oh, okay.
You just wait.
You're waiting for that trade, baby.
Yeah, now, see, I was hoping that the lottery odds would fall their way for Cooper Flag. Mm-hmm. Well, now that it didn't, they will trade for him. So that's in the end, as long as you have Cooper Flag, what difference does it make how you acquired him, right?
Well, the second part is true, but the first part is not happening.
What part?
Where they're trading for him.
Oh, okay. What I meant to say is that in 4 years he'll demand a trade for Salt Lake. Yeah. And again, as long as if you get Cooper Flag by 24, all of us are happy.
Fact, that's true. Not happening, but it's true.
Well, I got 4 years to keep saying it.
You do. You can beat the truth. You can't be wrong for 4 years. Lakers star LeBron James said his focus this offseason is having his left knee healthy in time for training camp. He said he's feeling good after he sprained a ligament in his knee in the season-ending playoff loss to the Timberwolves. Wants to be as close to 100% as possible when training camp begins in late September.
Good for him.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
But I take being a mentor with a lot of honor. I enjoy passing knowledge. I feel like, there's no point for me to die with all this knowledge, go to the graveyard or whatever in my career with all this knowledge. I have to share it with many people as possible, and especially people that are going to help us win ball games. So I'm going to help all the young guys as much as possible. And if I help them to a level where they're better than me, then the team is better, and, I'll find my role and make it work. But, that's the goal, right? I would like to help these guys be the best players they can be, and that's just football.
That is 17-year vet Calais Campbell back with the Arizona Cardinals. Being a willing mentor.
I always loved listening to Calais Campbell talk, just thinking that they got that big, deep voice. He's a huge man, and he was always a great interview when he was there the first time. Somewhere in the great beyond, Barry White is smiling.
A 6'8" defensive tackle. Usually the tall guys are out at end. Defensive tackles tend to be bowling balls.
He began his career as a DN.
Yeah, I believe it.
Can't get enough of your love, baby. I don't know why. Can't get enough of playing football, baby.
49er tight end George Kittle defended quarterback Brock Purdy against detractors on Purdy's new contract extension. I don't know what his winning percentage is, but when you win a lot of games, you only need 2 years to get to the NFC Championship or better. I think that's decent. One of my favorite things that I've heard is everyone calls him a check-down merchant. And then the last 2 years, he's had the least amount of check-downs as a starting quarterback. So I think he's doing pretty well.
Well, he doesn't know his winning percentage, but he knows his check-down percentage? I don't buy that. I'm not sure that's a fact right there.
Yeah,
you would think that you would know your winning percentage more than your check-down percentage. Because I've never heard that as a specific stat. And we've got stats for everything. Your check down percentage.
I haven't heard it either. I'm sure it's out there because we know that they graph every portion of the field, not just how far down the field you throw the ball, but whether you throw it the left side, the right side, down the middle, and it probably analytics people break it down even more than that. But
what is the limit for check down? Is it 3 yards? 4 yards? Does it have to go
behind
a
the line
certain
of scrimmage,
percentage vertically, and then it's no longer a check down. This can get very, very complicated.
It could. I have not seen a formula for that, how they figured that out.
If I was Kittle, I'd be far more worried about his winning percentage. Get that down first, and then worry about the check down later.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
South Carolina star quarterback LaNorris reportedly passed on an $8 million NIL offer from another college program to transfer and remain with the Gamecocks. He was named SEC Freshman of the Year after throwing for 2,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 picks. And he ran for another 674 yards and 7 more touchdowns.
Well, that's got to be Tennessee, right?
I can see why
among
you would say
others.
That. Yeah,
well, I mean, they needed the quarterback. They got the money because Nico Alamale-Alaveda, decided to go home to Southern California, so they needed someone.
It's a very good educated guess.
Yeah. And I know I'd heard that they made some feelers out for Levitt down there in Tempe.
Sellers' father, Norris, told The Athletic, quote, "He was offered all kinds of crazy numbers. We didn't come here to make money. We came here to get our education and play ball. And with schools calling, we're not going to jump ship because they're offering more than what we're getting. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're 19. You don't need $8 million. You're in a great spot." There were several talks, but it never really crossed his mind to leave. It's a challenge with colleges offering young guys that kind of money. Who's going to say no to $8 million for 2 years? You're going to be swayed if you don't have the right people in your corner.
Well, that's the key, that last part. You know, and we know statistics, and I know people don't want to talk about things that are tough to talk about, but we know statistics that a lot of young men don't have the fathers, and you're quoting his father, and so that would make me believe that they are in a decent financial situation to where that's not important. But for some folks, that's a big deal.
Right.
That could be life-changing.
I do think it was critically says at the end, who's going to say no to $8 million for 2 years? Okay, so it was $4 million per year, not 8.
Okay. Well,
which is still a lot of money. I get that. But then also, well, he didn't pass on $4 million. Some percentage of that South Carolina's paying him, whether they're paying him $1 million or $2 million. I mean, we've heard the going rate for a starting quarterback is $1 million, and I assume it's higher in the SEC.
Yeah, I think it's Kyle said 1 to 1.5 this past season.
Right, and now it's a year later, and that's the SEC. And he put up great numbers, so he had some leverage. Yeah,
this is the way it is. Why shouldn't these young fellows get paid?
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Ohtani's 28th pitch, a 1-1 to Bogarts. A chopper to the left side. Muncy charging along the line. In the glove. Throws on the run. Freeman stretches. In time to get him. And so that will strand Arise. But the Padres do get one on the Manny Machado sacrifice fly following the back-to-back singles to greet Shohei Ohtani in his Dodger pitching debut in 2025.
Shohei Ohtani pitches 1 inning, gives up a run on 2 hits, throws 28 pitches, and then starts driving in runs. He only threw the 1 inning. It was a combo bullpen game. They ended up using 7 different pitchers in there as they win 6-3, right a 5-run 4th inning to the victory.
Well, if he was a normal player, he would go down to the minors, to A, AA, single A, triple A, wherever they want to put him in that situation. We've seen that. But he's not a normal player. His bat needs to be in the lineup, so he's going to get his rehab starts in the big leagues, because the last thing you want to do is take him out of the lineup.
No, you want his RBI double in the 3rd inning, and you want his RBI single in the 4th inning. So,
and his 2 home runs tonight.
He probably will hit a couple more tonight.
So, this is the way they have to do it. They have no other choice because he's so dominant with the bat. And it's also a business, and a lot of people go see him play.
And there it is.
Yeah, so he needs to be out there as much as possible because he is the show these days.
He was fastest pitch was clocked at 100.2 miles per hour.
I was watching it, and I knew he was going to. Once he got up to 20 pitches, he knew he was only going to go one at bat there, or 1 inning, I should say. But I think he is the number one attraction in the Los Angeles market that people literally go to see, and I'm not counting the Angels, because I know they're in there, but they're down. I put them.
They're down the pecking order.
Yeah. But I mean, they're just geographically. I'm talking about.
Oh,
the
you're saying
city
they're
of
too
LA.
far south to be the city of LA.
Yeah. I think
you view the Angels as Orange County's team.
Yeah, and maybe beyond, and Riverside and all those other places, those other counties too. I think he's the number one attraction in LA since Magic. In terms of, I want to see him.
Okay, so you're putting him over Shaq and Kobe. Mm-hmm. I mean, Kobe really, he was selling tickets. I mean, at the start they had Shaq and Kobe, but after Shaq got moved, I mean, Kobe had a long run there, and he's an LA legend.
No question.
Yeah.
No question he is, obviously.
But Shohei's topping Kobe now. He's reached that point.
In terms of, I want to go see him, not them. Because you just meant Shaq and Kobe. You want to go see them.
It was them early on. It definitely was them early on.
And then he has Gasol. And Gasol's a really good player. But I'm talking about just singularly. And that's taking nothing away from those other guys. I mean, obviously, Kobe was as electric as they come. And he was also a lightning rod. You can argue, in terms of lightning rod in sports, we've never had a player like Kobe Bryant, for good and bad.
How long has it been since the Dodgers had a player who could sell tickets like that? I mean,
Fernando?
You got to go back. I was going to say Fernando or Oral Hershiser.
Oral's kind of boring.
Yeah. But people went to see him because he won.
Well, he had that streak going.
Right.
The shutout streak.
Fernando had the magic. I mean, the charisma, just the...
Right, and he was also minority, so he attracts the Mexican folks. He certainly was beyond that, but that added to that. That's one of our own. We've got to go. And the Japanese.
And Otani has that to a degree too, right? Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, they got 500 media people.
But again,
there.
It also goes beyond that.
It does.
White people lining up.
It was like Jordan. I mean, Jordan is an African American, obviously, but he's just
everybody. Yeah.
Didn't matter who you were, you wanted to see. And we saw that when they have the Olympics and everything, and
I'm trying to think,
around the world.
Football doesn't. I mean, the Rams. It's kind of weird in that town. Coming and going. They don't have the hold. The Kings don't have somebody like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, they had Gretzky back when I was there.
Rest of baseball. Philly. Your Phillies had a tough stretch there. They lost 10 of 12, but now they've turned it around. They won 5 in a row. They beat the Marlins 5-2. So. Back on the upswing in Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, when they go down, I just go over to the Dodgers.
We know.
And also, in my back pocket, I have the Mets and Yankees.
So you got that going for you.
I live there. I moved around.
Yankees got shut out by the Angels. 1-0 final score there. Colorado, after that dreadful start, what are they doing? 6-7 in their last 13 games. They're showing some competence there, PK. Don't know what to make of that.
Me either.
Red Sox, they move a star. Do they have another one? Roman Anthony, top prospect, hit his first Major League Baseball home run. They beat Seattle. Boston wins 2-0. The Bees lose to the Aviators. That's 8 in a row. 8-1 the final. Same two teams tonight, 8 o'clock on the Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Game 6 Stanley Cup tonight. Panthers win. They hoist the cup. Panthers lose. Game 7 in Edmonton. Those are your options. 6 o'clock tonight on TNT. And we just had on Mike Fulton. We just had him on yesterday and replayed it for you in the first hour. And he has no idea what's going to happen. Nobody knows.
No.
Tune in, find out, be surprised.
And just guess.
Will they go overtime again?
The nature of the sport, and then combined with these two teams. Last year, each team had a 3-game win streak in the finals.
Yeah.
Good luck, man, trying to predict. I don't... I've been in Vegas casinos 100 times, maybe even more, in sports books. And I like to just hang out because you got all the screens there and you see people living and dying because they're I don't do it, but they put money on it. I wouldn't bet a penny. I wouldn't even bet your pennies
on hockey.
No.
You just never know. What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Steve Cleveland, former BYU basketball coach, joins us at 8 o'clock. We'll talk NBA Finals and draft with him. Brandon Huffman, national recruiting editor for 24/7 Sports at 8:30. The question of the day is next. Stay with us.